So the surgery will last as long as it takes, but there are different lengths depending on the kind of surgery. For a routine one-level fusion, for me it's usually about 2 hours. Occasionally, if things go very smoothly and there's certain patient's factors, if the patient is thinner or smaller, then it'll be a little bit faster. And then if I'm doing a very extensive surgery where I'm reconstructing the spine from a tumor or infection, that could take all day. It just depends on the nature of the problem. But for most people who are having elective spine surgery for normal degenerative conditions, it's 2 to 3 hours. So usually the hospital stay for a spinal fusion is 2 to 3 days, again depending on its extent of the surgery. Obviously the longer the surgery and the bigger the surgery, the longer that'll be. But for a smaller one-level fusion, oftentimes people can go home in 1 or even 2 days. So the recovery occurs in stages, again depending on the extent of surgery. Usually they can return to driving in 2 to 3 weeks after the surgery. They're never really at bed rest. We have them up and walking right away. Even the biggest surgery I do, we'll try to get them out of bed the next day. So there are recommendations in terms of how you advance your activity level. So obviously we don't want somebody mowing their lawn 2 weeks after the surgery. So we limit certain activities until they're fully healed. So depending on the type of surgery and the extent of fusion, sometimes people are able to go back to activities like tennis or golf as soon as a few months. Sometimes it's longer. So return to work is variable based on, number one, the type of job the patient does. If it's an office type job or even something that they can even do from home, they can do it right away. I've had patients who had jobs where they brought their laptop to the hospital and were literally working right after the surgery. But if you have a very physically intensive job where you're having to lift and bend and do a lot of active things, then you're going to be off of work probably several months.